He was a very complex guy because he had a lot of tragedy in his life. You know, his dad left home when he was 3 and he didn't see him until he got famous. He went to live with his auntie and uncle. The uncle died, really, John. So I think he was very guarded. And I think the wit and everything was always like, you know, the shell that came down.
John Lennon was never ashamed to admit his insecurities. Time and time again, he would pull back the curtain from his acidic wit, and we would see the human behind the legend. For someone so famous, wealthy, and successful, happiness still seemed to have eluded him. It's hard to imagine, for me at least, feeling unwanted, whether it's by your family or circumstantially having people that you love taken away from you. With every talent and gift the man possessed, it seemed to come with an unbearable amount of sensitivity. Like everything he attempted, the greater the fame, the greater the scrutiny. Perhaps this is where the iconic witticism of John Lennon comes from. Not from the pursuit of comedy or levity, but as a defense mechanism to shroud deep insecurity. Although Help was simply commissioned to John as a song to write, after it being determined to be the title of the second Beatles film, John Lennon used it as an opportunity to show a little chink in his armor, his slightly husky armor. You see, John wasn't just depressed or insecure, John was getting fat. And as he puts it, Elvis fat. John says he knows he comes across as positive, but he said sometimes he felt like jumping out of a window. The rise of the Beatles for them was incomprehensible. They said they smoked pot for breakfast. No one could talk to them. Their eyes always glazed and they were always giggling. John Lennon wrote Help as a cry for something or somebody to come help him. If he did art, his insecurities were tested by reporters.
When I wanted to be a painter, which I was lousy at, the only thing I could do was this kind of work.
Some of these drawings look as if you're preoccupied with abnormalities.
Well, I'm not really. It's just that they're not very abnormal.
Physical abnormalities.
Yeah, well, my earlier drawings when I was about 18 and 19 were really abnormal, you see. So I think they're quite normal. They might look abnormal now, but they're not. They're quite clean and fresh, I thought.
If he had his glasses on and wanted to impress a pretty girl, he was victim to his worry and vanity.
But any time there was any girls around, he'd whip them off. I know you couldn't see a bloody thing, you know, it'd be like as blind as a bat.
If he had a girl, he could be jealous and once violent.
Even used to claim was physical with you at one point.
On one occasion, yes, but that was the only time. That was because of his insecurity and jealousy, because he was a very jealous young man at the time and had a lot of pain inside. And he wanted to trust me. And he thought by seeing me dancing with a friend of his that I was being disloyal or I was messing around. So he smacked me and
but that was the only time.
I finished, yes, well I finished with him and then 3 months later we got back together again.
It's important to remember that although we may all be burdened with insecurity, some of us make very strange, obsessive YouTube videos about some band from the 60s or make weird songs about memes because no one will listen to our unfunny original songs. Insecurity can be addressed. It can be directed to something more kind and healthy. John saw his issues. He saw the things he did wrong. He saw and acknowledged his indefensible violence and ended up fighting for peace and love till his very last day. As he says, that's why I'm always on about peace and love. It's the most violent people who go for peace and love. Okay, so in the vein of help, I need someone. I need somebody to help me. I'm 28, but I feel like I'm a billion because everybody's telling me that I need a Twitter. I made a Twitter and I don't know how to use it. I want to reach as many people as possible, but I'm completely at a loss. So
Help, I need the Twitter. What the hell is Twitter? You know I need someone